Okay, intention is number one. And I started to talk about this a little bit in saying that I was intending to be a writer and intending to open up spiritually. And the world, the universe, God, goddess, whatever you want to call it, found a way to bring this into my reality in a way that I couldn't imagine. Now, intention is different from a goal, because a goal is strategic, right? You know you want something. You want a MBG, you want a Mercedes, and you want this model of car, and you are making payments towards that plan, and in 5 years you'll have that car. Intention is more open-ended. It's where we know at our core what it is that we want, but we allow the greatness of the higher power to take care of the details for us. And I like to think about it as a rudder on a ship. So with your intentions, you're knowing your direction and you're knowing what your heading is. And you may be able to see a little bit of the wake behind you that you just created and a little bit ahead of you, but you really can't see your final destination. Is anybody familiar with the movie or the book, The Secret? Okay. About the law of attraction. The law of attraction is just the law of cause and effect. It's a universal law. And that's what I'm talking about here too when I talk about intention. And Jack Canfield, the author, one of the authors in The Secret, uses the metaphor of driving from New York to California at nighttime with your high beams on, and you can only see 200 feet in front of you. But you know where you're going. You know you're heading for Hollywood, right? And he's saying that you can drive the entire trip across country only seeing a couple hundred feet in front of you, and you'll get there. And that's kind of how I like to think of intention. I think that's a really good way to think about it. And I like to use intention setting in two ways. Number one is basing your intentions around really core questions. And I think there are three most crucial questions to ask yourself in life. And they may take a lifetime to answer, and they may change during the course of your life. But those questions are, number one, who am I? Who am I? Number two, what do I want? And I'm not necessarily talking about material things. So number one, who am I? Number two, what do I want? And number three, how can I serve? If you're basing your intentions around those three core questions, you're on the right track. The other way I like to use intention is what I call the taming power of the small. I talk about this in M&M. And this is for especially those of us who maybe are having a hard time getting their mind around, okay, I'm intending to have a new job tomorrow, and I wake up and there's a phone call on my answering machine, you know, kind of thing. So the taming power of the small is about starting in small ways and just playing with intention. Just play with it. Just say to yourself, okay, this week my intention is that somebody's going to buy me a cup of coffee, or someone's going to pick up the tab at dinner. And just see what happens. Just see what happens. Or tomorrow in my 10 o'clock meeting, my ideas are going to be heard by my colleagues. They're really going to take to heart what I have to say. Or my intention this week, just for this week, I'm going to work on being kinder. I'm going to lead with kindness. And just see what happens as a result of that. You can also intend to attract people into your life. And I'll talk about this a little bit later when I update you about the story of my life since I've published the book, which is very interesting indeed. And of course you can intend abundance and wealth and health and all of those things. Of course you can. I've seen it happen. Believing that it can happen is the way to start.